There once was a man named Gold Roger, who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonko table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonko table, the table that will make their dreams come true.
Yo, everyone. That is the voice of your Yonko host, DrJaceAttorney, and we are back for a new helping of Castlevania, specifically Castlevania Nocturne. So crack your whips, bear your crosses, and what else? What else is in Castlevania? Oh, your garlic, bear your garlic strands, because we're ready. We're ready for some Castlevania with the Belmont clans and their never-ending fight against the creatures of the night, specifically of the vampire variety. But I'm not alone in this endeavor. We have Supernovas and Yonkos here to join us today. And I forgot to introduce our favorite Yonko, Grandmaster Hoop. Grandmaster, I know you don't have good taste in most, pieces of media with animation. What is your take on the Lion Guard? I mean Castlevania Nocturne.
Castlevania's cool. Thank you for my intro. It's cool. It's there.
God, Jesus Christ.
I'm here. I watched it. I'm not like blown away, but there's good things. There's good things to talk about in Castlevania.
We missed you on the last Castlevania pod.
Yes.
I really miss him though.
Yes. I was slow to take in Castlevania. Yeah, that's just it. I took my time with it. I didn't want to binge it. And then by the time the final season rolled around, I was behind. I was deep diving life with Isaac, so I had to take it in slow strides. So Isaac,
you're an Isaac stan.
I am an Isaac stan. Yes.
Interesting.
Always an Isaac stan. Pretty sure that's my boy. If I'm not no.
Isaac was one of the better characters from the previous season.
But yeah, I'm on time with this one.
All right, you're here. Let me get a feel for the room. What did you guys... Well, here, how about this? Because Toasty and I covered the final season of Castlevania way back when this pod was in season 1. I think it was like 2021 at that point. What were you guys looking forward to most with like Nocturne? Or how did you think overall of the prior, I guess, iteration of Castlevania? Since this is in a way kind of like a sequel series, and in some ways it's just season 5 of Castlevania, but it is in sequential order after the original. What were you guys looking forward to? Did you want a sequel series? Yeah, what did you guys think? Not all at once, please.
I guess I can go. Yes, I can go. I definitely wanted a sequel. Obviously, the last season for season 4 was amazing, but this one, I don't want to say it was disappointing, but it left me wanting more, if that makes sense. I felt like they were part of it missing. Something was missing. And I didn't know the writers changed, but it makes sense now that we did have different writers compared to the last season.
That's fair enough.
No, I loved Castlevania, like the prior series, and obviously this could be like season 5 or it could be a sequel series, whatever you want to call it. So I was excited for it. I liked Nocturne a lot. Maybe not to the same level, I would say, as the prior series, but it's the first season and something tells me that it's just going to be like they're trying to build up to something. But I didn't know that the writers have changed either.
I felt like it. Oh, Apex, go! Yes, of course.
So let me get up in this mic. Hi everyone. So it's definitely a sequel series for me. It's not season 5. Reason being that you do not have to watch Castlevania season 1 through 4 to get the premise of all of it. except the ending, maybe. But even then, that's okay because it's just a new character. But overall, I mean, I think they ate. I was like, they definitely did what they had to do with it. It's a new writer, so I'm like, it gives them more expansion. I definitely agree with Toasty with like wanting more, but like wanting more is not necessarily a bad thing. So long as I feel that like you felt content or satisfied with what you get. Like, I think that when I got season 1 of like Nocturne right now, I think they did a really good job with expanding already the amazing story that Castlevania was, and then also gave you wanting more. Like, I cannot wait till season 2 happens. Like, that's why they got that huge praise from people, and they just dropped that season 2 is coming. So I mean, yeah, no, Nocturne's great, so I can't wait till we get into it. But nah, definitely highly recommend. They definitely did what they needed to do. So Dr. Jace, spin that track. Let's get to these points.
Let's get to these points.
So we can get into it.
I guess general synopsis, we're more or less still with the Belmont clan, right? We're introduced to a new Belmont down the lineage, Richter Belmont. I always like this series just because it reminds me of JoJo, how it's like each descendant of JoJo, you go down the line and how they face off against other evil entities. So we're with Richter Belmont. We have like a bit of like a tragic backstory in episode 1. What is it? Richter, his mother, they're being chased by evil vampire man, evil
Miss
Aztec.
Miss Julia Belmont,
the goat. And we get introduced to like a new, I guess somewhat of an antagonist, right? Olrox. What are you shrugging your shoulders for? Well, it was just mid. I don't know. I didn't like it.
I didn't. I'm shrugging because I necessarily wouldn't call him an antagonist. And I think, props to the writing. And this carries over from the original Castlevania, is that the antagonists or the central opposition, they're layered. Olrox is not necessarily, I'd say, an antagonist. He's definitely an opposing force, and as we continue through the series, he has his own motivations. He has his own backstory, but he's a cool addition as far as I didn't know how far in the future we were going with Nocturne. So now that we're in the new world, as they like to call it, in this series, I think it was cool to see vampires of different ethnicities. So Olrox is Aztec.
That's so cool. Oh man,
and
I don't know why.
I thought that was cool. I thought that was a cooler element. And then not only is he Aztec, but like that dragon that he transformed in was definitely supposed to be like
oh my god, that god. Damn, it starts with a K. It starts
what?
Kukulkan.
Yeah, Kukulkan.
Yeah, Kukulkan.
Oh, your favorite line.
Kukulkan.
They call him the serpent god.
That's Umbaku saying Kukulkan.
The feathered serpent. Cancel.
Yes, damn right. It's also, I want to clarify, it's 300 years later. So, yes, I know you meant that. And also, yes, Olrox is definitely on her T-Swift shit because she is definitely anti-hero. And I love her so much. But yeah.
Actually, I think that was Quetzalcoatl, what he was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Quetzalcoatl.
The bird.
One
right?
the feathered serpent. The feathered serpent.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, not the god. Damn, we were close. But this is where we get introduced to these cast of characters. Let me ask you guys this, because I feel like Castlevania is very centered on its main cast, because like in the previous series you had Trevor Belmont, you had Sypha, Alucard. That was our like holy trinity throughout most of the seasons of the previous Castlevania. In this one we have some newbies. Obviously Richter Belmont, he's our head Belmont. We have newcomer Maria, Annette, who else we got? Edouard, Tara. So the cast is a lot bigger. What was there any like standout character that you guys like homed in on compared to previous iterations? Did you just default to the Belmont, or?
I mean, obviously you're gonna look at Richter first, and compare him right off rip to Trevor. Richter's got some shoes to fill as far as being the sole survivor of the Belmont clan.
I don't think I like him more than Trevor for now.
Yeah, Richter's not as hot as Trevor.
He's so irrelevant.
No, very important. Very important. Don't you dare.
Get it. Yeah, he's not as hot as Trevor because Trevor was giving daddy. Rick just baby twink boy with his rope, and he's like, "Chung," you know.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, but we're talking about new characters. Miss Annette, yo, pop the fuck off, bitch. She's a bad bitch. For sure. I loved her with her little like sand swords, and she'd be fucking bitches up.
And that was cool.
Sure. Yep.
I liked Annette's concept.
Annette ate. For sure.
No. Well, Annette, just looking at her history too, seeing as how she probably went through the most change from video games to anime.
Yeah, she's not black in the anime. I mean, in the game.
It's not about just her being black. It's about Annette was just like a damsel, I think, to my knowledge.
Yeah, she was a damsel.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, she had no backstory from like Haiti or being a slave or whatever. She wasn't from there.
Yeah, this current general public eating that shit up, they be like, oh, hell no, she's fucking black. What's up with Netflix? Netflixing the shit, Oh my gosh, Hallie, all these bitches, they're all black.
Not my Annette.
Girl, you know what? I'm happy Annette's black. I'm also happy Annette is that bitch, too, okay? And second off, if these bitches who have something to say in the comments were just as talented to write some shit better, then they would, but they didn't. So leave it alone. Annette's there. She's that girl. She's probably honestly, she's giving like mad Sypha vibes in the sense of like, when Sypha came in, she's a bad bitch. The second she came on the block, Annette gave that more than Marie. So yes.
Well, Maria's a child.
Yeah, Maria's more like what the voice of reason, I think, out of all of them.
She's the innocence of
Yeah.
She was born into this world and she wants to join the fight, but she's a child at the end of the day.
Yeah, she's naive.
Right.
She's naive.
Yeah, but Marie has cool powers though.
She has great powers.
I think they probably have the most interesting powers compared to our prior
a power set, a
power set.
Yeah.
Right, because Maria, she has like the whole summoning of the circles with creatures.
I think it's based on, if I read correctly, the Zodiacs.
I don't think the Zodiacs. I think
it's one of the Zodiacs.
Like Chinese New Year or some shit, because I don't know no motherfucking Zodiac that got a turtle in it.
Well, I think it's the I'm not the cardinal directions, but it's something along the lines of like north represents the turtle, south represents something. It's something like that. Someone in my comments on YouTube explained it. I need to go back.
Okay, so not Zodiacs, 4 symbols of Chinese mythology. Okay. So that's what it is.
Okay.
4 guardians.
Is the tortoise the north?
I got that spoiled, but don't say it.
Yeah, it is based on directions.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there is one missing that I guess will come later.
That'll be nice
in season 2.
I know, because I got that spoiled in one of the comment sections on YouTube, and they was like, "Oh, I can't wait till she brings this shit," and I was like,
it definitely is going to be interesting. But these characters are nice. Okay, no. So what we talked a little bit about Richter. I guess do you guys want to go down like the characters and just go down their individual journeys versus plot synopsis, or how do you want to do it?
We could do it by characters. I mean, the plot synopsis is pretty simple. What?
The Vampire Messiah.
He's a Vampire Messiah.
But the double entendre, because I don't give a fuck. We're going to skip to the end real quick. You think Vampire Messiah is Sekbet, but if Vampire Messiah could be Alucard.
No.
Sleeping ass.
No. So look, Messiah means it's like the second coming. So,
and the first coming was in Castlevania.
The first coming is Dracula.
Right. So he is the devil.
Right. Dracula was end all be all. Everybody was bound to Dracula. And then they realized Dracula, oh, you're just doing this for love. Bump that, Dracula.
We thought you were evil.
We want Dracula.
Grandmaster, Messiah is technically just a leader. It doesn't mean like second coming. It can be any leader.
That's fair.
So for example, like in real life,
put him in his place.
The Jewish people are still waiting for their Messiah. So there's that.
fair.
Yeah.
But I think in just with the lore of Castlevania, Dracula left this giant hole for vampire
did.
kind.
The power vacuum.
Yeah, a power vacuum. And so I guess at this rate, because and this is cool part of the plot too, is how kind of vampires have now integrated themselves in society with regards to like they
they're
said
just chilling. Like they're
they're chilling. They're like shacking up with like dukes and duchesses, and then I found the
basically
fact that
they're the puppet master. Like they're in
puppets.
many ways
Yeah.
they're the puppet masters.
right.
well, I found the most intriguing too was that like a lot of vampires were slave owners, you know.
That was
And I
an
was like,
interesting element that they
Yes.
explored in the new world.
Well, they have them also like the secret fucking service too, because they have them doing like the dirty work with that, which I think was again important because they expand the world beyond Europe, right? And so they get able to bring all these people from different countries into it.
Right.
But they were living in the shadows again, like kind of like that was their thing. It's like, oh, we gotta use the human world to, you know, dominate the world, as opposed to in Castlevania. What's this bitch name? Carmilla. She was like, no, bitch. I'm just gonna own her, and they're gonna be my cattle, livestock. I'm gonna eat these bitches up, you know. But this one they have like actual like strategy because they're like, oh, we need the diplomacy and all this fucking bullshit. Like,
and we need
control.
alliances.
They had a
with
whole
humans,
council
Yeah.
room. Yeah, they always do
Yeah.
really good by the female vampires. I don't know why.
Yeah,
They-
it is very female led this season. I'll tell you that. These
Wh-
girls are bad bitches.
Okay.
Richter was going through all his PTSD in the beginning, which I get it.
Let's-
Totally a thing. But
Let's talk about them because they are technically our main villains. The vampire messiah is being touted as her name's Ursabet Battery, based off of, I think one of you said it. Who was she based?
Hungarian
Was a
serial
Hungarian
killer.
serial killer.
Okay, was she? So a Hungarian serial killer. Was she?
So I think
Elizabeth
she was nobility.
Okay,
And
okay.
she was known to just like kill, dismember everyone.
I think,
she was
yeah,
one of, like,
She like
history's worst
captured
serial
and like
killers.
tortured like
Is she the-
girls and stuff or something.
She's the one that bathed in blood, right?
She was the one
I
that
think
would
so.
bathe in
Yep.
blood.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where
Like,
the
she's
that's where
one
the
of most
vampire
notorious
stuff
serial
comes
killers in
from.
history.
Okay, that's where the vampire
Yeah.
stuff comes from. Pure psycho. So we got Ursabet Battery and Drolta Tsuentes. Her basically.
bad bitch.
I'm telling you, like Ursabet's fine. I liked her as the main villain. And I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit. They did a crime by killing off Drolta this season. Drolta should have
Yes.
lived because she was the queen of this whole. Every time Drolta was on scene, she stole it. Every single time. Her fight sequences, every time she opened her mouth, every time she talked, it was perfect. She should have been the main villain, in my opinion, over Ursabet. But Ursabet's cool. But Drolta a true queen. She the Messiah.
She was a good lieutenant, you know. She was leading the charge, you know. She's like, oh, she's coming. Are y'all ready for her? You know. Clearly they weren't, so she's like, all right, let me get this shit under control.
Like Drolta was like, if you think I'm bad, if you think I'm scary, wait till you meet her.
Oh
That was
yeah.
basic.
Full on.
I think Drolta also just like what's that called? Worshipped. I mean, they worshipped.
She was very devoted.
The bad bitch.
Yeah.
And honestly, rightfully fucking so. That bitch moved the motherfucking moon. Girl.
I don't know how she did that. They better explain
With her
that in
powers.
season 2. She just opened a
Powers.
Rasengan in her hand and just blocked out the sun.
Right.
Makes no sense.
Right.
I do not understand. So those are our two main villains, Ursabet and our other lovely Drolta. I guess going into like individual characters. So let's start off with Richter, right? I know we open things saying that he's not as hot as Trevor. He ain't daddy. Which is, I guess it's fair. But I guess starting from Richter's journey all the way until the end, did you like Richter more? Did you dislike him? Did you feel like there's something missing about his character? I know some people on social media, they were saying he was like just swearing like a chimney the entire time, like trying to be edgy, and I'm like, I guess,
no,
but
Trevor was definitely cursing more.
Trevor,
but
you think Trevor was
but
cursing more?
Trevor's like me. When I curse, it's expected. See how it's different? Like Richter, when Richter cursed, I was like, okay.
Well,
Okay, I think that's what people were saying. It was like, what? Did you have to do it here? Did you have to say that?
Let's
cringe.
think about it. Let's pick it apart.
Go.
Trevor was a drunk first and foremost.
It led
especially-
to his character.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Trevor is like he didn't he like hate being a Belmont? He did not like being a Belmont.
He
at
didn't
first.
really respect the
Yeah.
name all that much.
Right. He felt like it was a burden. He felt like it was a chore.
Well, 'cause everyone else hated the Belmonts. So like, remember he was like, his whole thing was like, in the beginning, I'm pretty sure like in the beginning they were all like, oh, that
Yeah, like the
Belmont, you're
the
supposed-
Belmonts, it was like a
like it was
taboo.
trash name, and he was like, oh well, then I guess I'm just a drunk, and kind of found that too. And then it's kind of
Yeah.
like Cypher that kind of rejuvenates him to like be like, all right, let's like start doing
Be
good for the world, because he was just
proud.
being lazy.
Right,
So
right.
on the other hand, you have Richter, who, you know, Richter went through the traumatic experience of watching his mom get murdered.
Low key because of him, but not to be a bitch.
Yeah.
No. I hate that
But let's see
cliche.
your
I
fucking
hate that
parents.
cliche in origin
Listen to your
stories.
fucking parents.
Get on the boat, Richter.
No,
Go
mother,
back- go
I
back
will
home,
use
Simba.
flame
You
magic.
did fuck just like Simba's ass. Like Mufasa died, girl. If you listen to your motherfucking parents and you stayed your ass where they fucking said you should have been, then they would have fucking lived. Because the truth is, Julia would have ate. Miss
Julia
Olrox
was
up
holding
in
her
fucking
own.
Miss Holding Lee.
She was doing fine.
She was
Right.
doing
Yeah.
just fine. It wasn't until Richter tried to be grown that she got what her arm
motherfucker.
crushed.
And so when Richter then, you know, fast forward 9 years later, he is now just hiding under the Belmont name to you know, hide his fear. Like, you know, he's like, I'm a Belmont. I kill vampires. Like in that scene.
I'm a
in the-
vampire hunter, Richter Belmont, last descendant of the Belmont clan.
Right. And so, you know, that was such a great scene because he says all that. And then Olrox is like,
Excuse
well,
me.
if it isn't Richter Belmont.
You know what?
He says,
Yeah,
he says
yeah.
look at the Belmont boy, all grown up or some shit like that.
Fine, yes.
Yeah,
But
but that's pretty chilling, girl.
No,
when
but-
you haven't seen this bitch for 9 years,
But
and
that's-
motherfucker that killed your fucking mom.
that's the thing is
Yeah.
that Richter has been trying to bury his trauma in his family name and just do right by his family name and never has addressed
Like he wants to live.
the
He wants
trauma.
to live up to the Belmont name and like forget, in a way, like his mark of shame, his trauma, his disappointment, like that he feels guilty as to why his mom died, and like he's just escaping all that. And when Orlocks come, it's just like, hi there.
He also stopped using magic too because
That's block. Mental
but it's
block.
not
That's
just
a mental block.
I
Yeah.
just thought about it too, like watching it, like he used magic to like help defend his mom. So it's like also like he stops using magic because
Exactly.
because of that
Right.
reason too. So it's kind of justification of that and just like burying his solace because he just thinks that he deserves this fucking walk of shame and guilt because of what happened before. So he's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do what the fuck I do. And instead of just, you know, living it out there, because he thought he died. Like I think a part of him died when his mom died,
and
which is fact. I mean, when your parent dies,
Yeah,
like,
no, of course.
part of you dies. But he just like he's like Mr. Grandmaster Hoop said, whatchamacallit, that he just buried in it, and it doesn't happen until episode 6, which again Netflix is really good. These motherfucking episode 6 out
Now,
of these 8 episodes.
I'm gonna need you to give more evidence on these episode 6.
Oh,
I
man.
don't
More
know
evidence.
These
Goodness.
Oh well, I guess this is
I don't know how many episode 6s.
All right, maybe not just Netflix, but a lot of these 8 episode series. For instance, really side note, The Bear season 2 episode 6, 8.
All right.
Okay.
They have
So
these
fucking
climaxes at that point, and then it builds
Yes.
up to the finale, which is only like 2 episodes away. I know what Apex is saying. I
Sure.
know.
Sure, but I think watching Richter, you know, I guess by episode 6 it really comes to a head as far as, you know, he forgets that you aren't just fighting vampires because you're a Belmont. You are fighting them because you love people. You have someone to defend. And when, you know, that moment of realization and then his magic comes back, that was a good scene.
Oh god, that scene was fantastic. The song is
They
called
fucking
Divine Bloodlines. Remember it.
Bloodline.
Remember it. When that song hit, oh, goosebumps. I was
Again,
shaking.
It was giving Mad Lion King. Mufasa came in and said, "Remember who you are." Simba, boom, fucking knock this shit out, boy.
I like Richter.
Did you think it was a little cheese that he put on a bandana for no reason?
No, that's in the game.
Yeah.
No. It is in the game. It is in the game, but in the game, he just always has it. Now they have to write a legitimate reason why he's putting on a bandana. And
they did.
What was the reason? He just got it from like a fair girl. Yes.
Back it up to episode 5 or something, I think.
Go ahead.
He goes to the French Revolution people and they give him like a reason. He's like, "Oh, the bandana, will you fight for us?" I was like, I think that's a huge, like, small thing. And it's like one of those things, like, in the world, you know, like, you get these little hints and these signs. And that's why he puts it on, because he finally joins the fight.
And I think, well, one, I love it when they pointed out, too. They called him out. They said, "So you wear bandanas now?"
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. They're like, why do you have that
did.
on?
I thought that was funny. So, but I missed that part.
I missed it.
I guess the French Revolution.
I mean, I
being the
remember it. I
backdrop-
just don't remember
kids,
the reason.
They're like giving out those bandanas.
It was the
completely
3 girl.
missed it.
Goodness, my God. Ridiculous.
I'm very bad at Castlevania. I fall asleep and have to rewatch episodes.
Wow. They are
Oh,
coming
Cole's
for
acted.
you.
He's bad at everything. He falls asleep at everything.
Boring.
Continue.
Wow. Goodness. Well, yes, this is Richter's moment. I think this is where Richter peaked in terms of like, it was just fantastic what was going on with his character. And obviously the magic that he got blue flames now, which is, that's even more cooler.
On his Azula shit.
It was great. It was great.
And Just Belmont, the grandpa.
Juice
we'll get to
Belmont.
him.
Yes. We'll save Juice, but I have thoughts. I don't know. I have thoughts on Juice Belmont. But we'll get to him. We'll get back to him. And then from there, you know, I think that really was Richter's peak. The rest of the season is really just Richter getting into like badass fight sequences. His fight against Drolta in the finale, that was clean. That was
Eating.
Homie was on it. He was on
Like,
it.
no, like honestly, the fights in this series are dope.
The fights
They had a
were
good action sequence
Yeah.
in every
The fights are really
episode,
good.
which is really fucking good because in
It was.
Castlevania, in some of the episodes, they were super expositionary.
Yes, I think
remember
really in
that.
season 3, they really got to that point where the big fights were spread out like a lot amongst
Yes.
the episodes. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
But if we're talking about the fight with Drolta, when Little Miss Richter fucking
He imbued the
got
whip.
her nails or whatever, and put him in ice and broke that bitch's nail, she said,
Oh.
"Yeah, motherfucker."
Yeah.
What? Eating.
Oh god, it was just so good. I mean, he was doing new stuff too. He imbued his
He
whip
fights, like,
with the blue
ice
flames.
on his arms.
He did the ice shield.
He did the
and
ice
then-
shield. Oh my god.
And then, yeah, the boots. He set the flames through the boots and gave Drolta that nice little knee to the chest.
It was
He on his core
great.
shit.
It was
So,
fantastic.
Richter came alive. He came alive in the end.
He came alive. He cleaned house. It was good. And then that's, you know, pretty much the ending of Richter. He gets a badass fight sequence with Drolta, and yeah, his story kind of just ends there. Let's go into a more controversial character. I use that in air quotes because I feel like there's dumb people that have things to say about it. No one here, but like dumb people that have things to say on it where it's like, oh my god, they changed the character. But I think there's legitimate issues with the character, at least story-wise. The Haitian revolutionary Annette, the vampire huntress from Saint-Domingue.
A queen.
What? Okay, all right. I will say from inception, I thought she was going to be the coolest character introduced in this new cast. I liked her design,
But
and I liked the way she fought. That whole thing with like, what? It kind of like, in some ways, kind of like earth bending or metal bending, where it's like,
well, so her again, credit to the writers here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Ogun is the deity, the African deity, who's like a stonemason, forger,
Iron, whatever.
Right, and that's what it's based on. It's like based on African like mythology, religions. I know the name Ogun. That's a thing.
I thought that was cool. That's expanding the world of Castlevania. I like that.
Right, because if you're gonna base your world in magic, every Olrock's being Aztec and then transforming into the
feathered
Quetzalcoatl. Right, like why not pick from these different regions and look at Maria. She's got the Chinese guardians, they're taking mythos and magicism from all over, and I love that. So that being her thing, I thought that was great. I thought that was really cool.
They Netflixed it. They did what they had to do.
For better or worse.
Yes.
Yes, I did like the African mythology. That was really cool. And when she's first introduced, I guess you could kind of talk about him like alongside Annette, because I feel like he's crucial to her character and her character growth. Edouard, the opera singer. I love Edouard. I think I liked Edouard more than I did Annette ultimately. I started off liking Annette, like, oh yeah, she's so freaking cool. And then as the story went on, I liked her less and less. And I liked Edouard a lot more because I felt bad for Edouard. Because Annette's the reason why he's in the situation that he's in.
That is so true. Because everyone told Annette, wait.
This is a stealth mission. This is a recon mission.
Like, we're not here to fight. We're here to just check to see what's going on. And Annette, like a fucking like a fucking ear cat,
powering up like a Super Saiyan. By the way,
Annette,
processing.
This Annette fucking trash talk is about to get shut the fuck down.
Go ahead.
First the fuck off.
Go ahead.
Annette sees her fucking old slave owner,
and I'm gonna come back.
Here and said she thought I'll fuck him up. Yes, she did fuck up with that. She didn't think that he was gonna be there or whatever. I do get that. Edward definitely dies, but Edward definitely died because you know why? He couldn't keep the fuck up. If Edward had ran a little more, maybe the fuck they could have done that. Also, we just rewatched it. Not to be a bitch, I was like that. Richter, Marie, and Annette are not good friends. They didn't help him at all.
But they
thought he was catching up.
Blame Richter for killing his mom or whatever, and it's like because he made the situation.
He made the situation.
Why can't we blame Annette?
Oh no, I'm not saying
Edouard in the situation for him to die.
I can't. I'm not blaming. I'm not saying not to blame Annette for getting fucking caught. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also saying don't blame Edouard for not getting caught either because of his ass not being able to run.
I gotta blame him.
And also, oh hell yeah! But y'all also said some shit about how Edouard is only in this situation. Annette was gonna go do her own thing in her backstory, and Edouard's the one that brought her into the fold.
Oh no!
These fucking shits.
I don't mean like joining the cause. I meant in this specific event.
Okay,
this specific
instance, and that's yes. If Annette did not fucking get caught and would just
scouted, Edouard would be good.
She would have been perfectly motherfucking fine. They would have probably fine, but again, circumstantial. All I know is Edouard. He got these vocals were giving. That first vocal though, I said not a Billboard Hot 100, but
it was giving.
The rest of the season, he was giving a good album. I will definitely download Edouard's EP when it comes out. Okay.
I think Edouard's whenever they would have Edouard sing during fight sequences, for whatever reason, it just felt that much more emotional. The fights felt better.
Edouard was singing over the fight scenes.
It was great. Toasty, I hear that you can mimic Edouard's opera singing. Can you give us a sample?
Stop. But those characters, going back to Annette and Edouard, I thought they were interesting. But one of the things that did piss me off was whenever she spoke Creole. He did not speak Creole, by the way.
She is not Haitian in real life, if I'm not.
And that's an issue.
Oh, the
Can you
VA,
imagine
the
a
VA
show?
is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Tuso Mbedu.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, but that's an
she's
issue
from South
because
Africa.
no, but the issue, Ethan, is not that she spoke Creole in an accent. Is that she's butchered the word. She mixed two different language. Can you imagine watching? I don't know, In the Heights, and the main character starts singing Portuguese instead.
Oh no, I'm not
And you're
giving
like,
her
oh,
excuse.
like,
Usually
can
they
y'all-
do better with
Italian.
their casting, you know.
And I
as
know
far
it
as-
was, but that's the thing. Like, I feel like it was such a takeoff because I paused it the first time. I was like, "What the hell did she say?" Then I realized she said the French word for open, and then she said the door, but she said it in a different accent. And I'm like, "Yo, at this point, why even put it in the thing? You could have done it without adding this extra thing to make it seem, oh, look at us, we added Creole." No, you did not add Creole to it. I mean, that's all it is.
You'd rather
Or-
them not do it.
You have every right.
They
to
added
do it.
Crayola, girl.
like,
they was
it's
coloring,
like-
but they wasn't fucking
Right.
writing that shit down.
But like for her character, I know, right? And for her character, like Loki, I feel like they use Google Translate, but whatever. And Loki for her character, she was a bitch because how is she gonna get mad at Richter for running away from the dude who killed his mom? But she
Okay.
does the same thing
Okay.
with the slave owner who killed her mom.
And
And then she
Correct.
never apologized.
I
and they
dis-
just kind of
Yeah, like
hugged it out.
Annette.
this was
Annette
where
kind
her
of a
character. This is where I'm talking about the decline of Annette's character throughout the season. I liked her in the very beginning because we didn't really know about her, but she seemed cool. Oh, great.
Yep.
Then you had the Edouard scene happen where she just gets him killed. Apex gets him killed.
Yes.
No,
and
Edward should
then
have hit the gym and ran a little faster.
and then you have the scene with Olrox. There was actually one more scene before that, and I remember explaining it to Toasty before. But there was the Olrox scene where it's like Trevor just saw his childhood trauma manifest in front of him, and
Richter.
I'm sorry, yes, Richter. And he ran. He could not process it, and he ran, leaving his friends behind, which, mind you, it's a problem with Richter's character because even after he ran and he was like, after he calmed down, he never went back to check to see
He
if
went
his
party.
friends are
He went to
alive.
party.
He went to just go into the town. He had his little moment with Juiced Belmont, and I'm like, you don't know if your friends are dead right now. But sure, whatever. But yeah, so, and then I gave Annette benefit of the doubt because I thought, oh, she doesn't know. She doesn't know about Richter's past and why he ran. But then in the next episode, you had Maria and Tara tell her why Tara basically said, hey, cut him some slack. Like listen, this is what happened with Julia and Olrox before. And Annette still
And Annette
threw
is
it
like,
back
I
in
don't
her
fucking care.
face.
It's like,
Oh
bitch,
God, I hated her.
What?
I hate her because it's like you did the same thing, but in a different way. You didn't run, but you still did the same thing, and it resulted in one of your best friends dying. I can't.
I'm gonna give Annette a little defense in this moment. And again, I think the character is very layered, and I think everything y'all are saying is correct. But I also think in the moment, she was feeling a lot of mixed things when Richter ran, because there was Edward right there, which is now looming over her throughout this season as one of the biggest mistakes of her life. Him becoming a hellspawn or night creature, whatever you want to call him. And there was a moment to save him, and then there
After
was the
she
whole
attempted
thing,
killing him.
right? And there was the whole thing where he didn't recognize her, and so she's got a lot of guilt.
he recognized her.
She's looking for
He
people
recognized
to
her.
blame for her fuck ups.
He did not
I agree.
recognize her at first.
She's looking for people to blame for her fuck ups.
I think she said one word to him. I think she said Edouard or whatever. And he immediately remembered, we sailed the ocean together, right?
Yes.
And
Right,
that
right,
was
right.
it. So
he
she
started remembering. Yeah.
and this is where I even hated Annette's character more because the whole setup in this moment right here, they're going into this crypt area to save Edouard. Obviously, Richter saying, hey, I don't know, Edouard's a night creature. He could be gone or whatever. But she's saying, no, he did save me from being attacked by a night creature, and I think my friend is still in there somewhere. And that's where Victor's like, oh, but let's assume that he's not there. You know, are you gonna do what it takes to, you know, do the deed, you know, finish him off? And she's like, yes, I'll go there. If he's too far gone, I'll take him out.
Was that Richter or Tara who said that?
No, Richter.
No, it was Richter.
definitely trying to level
Richter,
her expectations.
It was
actually,
leveling it.
Outside of his, you know, his trauma, to a certain degree, like Richter's very pragmatic, and he's very real.
Yeah,
he's very like out of all the cast, because you have the gun-ho rebel, which is Annette. You have Maria, who's like innocent. Richter's kind of like, okay, like we really need to think this through. Like, and this might happen. Are you ready to do that?
Right.
Okay, perfect. He's very real.
Well, right here, right? So that's their mentality going in to save him, right? To save Edouard or kill him. They don't know yet. They don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So they go into the crypt, right? The first thing they hear when they go into the crypt is singing. Edouard singing. And they're like, oh my God, Edouard. It's him. He's singing. What night creature is gonna sing? So they start going to Edouard's, you know, prison cell. And that right there should be a problem too, because they should think, okay, they see Edouard in a prison cell and other night creatures guarding him. That would imply Edouard is not, I guess, obeying the night creature code in terms of like killing anyone you see, any humans.
That would be too easy for them to have that critical thinking process.
But so the squad is going in, and then so Annette's the one that gets to Edouard, and then when she says, oh, Edouard, and then Edouard responds by saying, we sailed the ocean together, right? There are already so many clues leading up to that point and that moment alone where it's like, yes, Edouard is still in there somewhere. And Annette's first response is, let me make it quick. I'll end it.
Yes.
I'm like, what? Why would... He's not gone. He's there. No, that was... Apex, absolutely not. That was terrible. That was terrible.
Let me tell you something. Just because he's in there doesn't mean that he wants to stay alive. Right?
She doesn't know that. There were so many clues implying that
decision for him.
No,
Exactly.
There was a conversation before.
She asked him that he can make it quick.
There was a conversation before, because in that moment, she said, "This is what you would have wanted." Because they must have had that
Did they have the conversation?
They must have.
No. If it's not there,
in the dialogue, that is what she said in the dialogue.
She said, I thought that's what you would have wanted.
Not that I thought that's what you wanted. This is what you would have wanted.
Right, because it's like, oh, you're a hell spawn. I guess you're living hell. But they didn't have that conversation. In the show, they didn't show that. So I'm not giving them that.
I'm gonna go back and look for that.
I promise you they didn't. Because why would he tell her, hey, Annette, if I ever become a night creature, make sure you end me.
Well, I don't think they thought a night creature, but if I ever turn or whatever.
Turn from what? There's
a vampire. If it's not a night creature, you're a vampire.
They don't know about turning.
I don't know if that conversation happened either.
It didn't. It did not happen.
However,
the reason why Annette pointed the blade is that, let's say, so yeah, Edouard was there. Edouard, like, his soul was alive in this night creature's body. That is a constant reminder of her fuck up. Seeing him in that form.
Oh, it's for her. It's a
reminder of her mistake, how she caused him to be that. So what's the easiest way to?
Wow, you know what?
I think that is.
If I make an
assumptive.
If I make Annette selfish, if I make Annette selfish,
right? That's the first time
looking for people to blame.
That's not the first time. That's not the first time that she's seen him. That's not. That is not the first time. The first time that they met
as a night creature.
Yes, in the prior episode, they were being attacked by night creatures, and she was going to be attacked by a night creature, and Edouard was the one that stepped in the way to stop the attack. And from there, the attack ended, and the night creatures took Edouard, saying, "Nope, you're problematic. We got to go back." Yeah. And I'm like, there are so many clues. Listen, Annette's that was another ding on Annette's character.
No,
I
there's
hated
no
it.
way.
I hated this.
Why.
Either way, that is why I say it is a layered response for her getting mad at Victor, because like Dr. Mondo was saying, she very much was looking to place blame elsewhere because she was in realization of her fuck up, and Edward is a living example of that. And she was trying to rectify the situation of her being the reason why he turned in the first place, which is why I say I understand her outburst. I understand why she's
And like,
upset.
but it got to an extreme that she was willing to kill Edward to put the shame of her fuck up to bed.
Yeah.
She was willing to kill Edward because, like, if you're alive, you're a constant reminder that I did this to you. So what better way to forget about this than actually kill you?
It's layered. It's that, and she's also trying to put him out of his misery because he's a night creature.
But so she's disguising it as, I'm gonna put you out of your misery, but really it's like
it
I
can
just
be
don't want this constant
it can be
reminder.
both things. Two things can be right. That's why it's layered. You know, it's just which one goes deeper. And I think Annette is a very layered character because
she's a hypocrite.
I don't think that makes her a hypocrite.
Yes,
Oh
yes,
my
yes, it
God.
does. Yes, it does.
I think-
Yes,
He's
it
a
does.
hypocrite.
Yes,
I
eat,
don't-
Dr.
Antonio
Mondo,
is the
eat
leader
it.
of the
Eat.
Annette
He's a
Hater
hypocrite.
Club, girl.
Cook.
I
Keep
wouldn't-
cooking. Keep
I wouldn't
cooking.
call her a hypocrite.
Yeah, I ain't eating what y'all cooking, but y'all keep going off. Pop off, sis.
Yeah, because again,
Go-
Next.
by the end of the season, she now has more reason
Well,
and is shown a better way.
let me ask you this, because I think this is like, well, two of the final bits with her character. You know, after that Edward moment, Richter has his training montage, whatever. Then he comes back, right? And Annette's kind of salty at first for like all of 2 minutes that he's back. And then she opens up to him. And there's like a scene between the two implying that there's a romance now.
They are.
Yeah.
Did
in
you
the video games?
No,
they're
okay.
romantically involved.
In the video games, yes, they are romantically involved, but in the context of this story, did you get any chemistry whatsoever between Annette and Richter being a thing?
There's
am
none
fine.
because-
Oh, go ahead, Toasty.
No, I was gonna say there's none, and that's one of the mistakes with this show. Every character that's in a relationship, it always felt like it's a curveball. It comes out of nowhere. There's no build up in their relationship, unlike the previous season of Castlevania. You felt like there was a build up with the characters. This one, it was just like, oh, two characters meet. Next episode, they're in a relationship, and you're left to wonder, dude, what the hell happened within the last episode and now?
Yeah.
Like, where's the build up? Like, it felt like, honestly, it just felt like they were on Tinder and just swiping right. Okay.
Like,
next
what
person.
would have made
Move
more
on.
sense? Well, like, I agree with you, Toasty. But what would have made more sense if you wanted to develop like that relationship, right? Even or give hints that there might be a future relationship. What you could have used at that point instead of like that, like love tension or whatever, use it's like Annette seeing Richter's like, wow, you overcame your trauma, like as admiration, saying like, wow, like you went, and seeing like that likeness between them when it comes to like their trauma, and and using that trauma as a way for them to become closer and bond. That would have been a great scene for you to do that.
Damn, Dr.
But
Mondo
instead
writing
they-
a better story.
But
I feel
instead,
like
what
that
they did is like,
happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm-
That is
Yeah,
not
yeah,
what
yeah.
happened.
What you just said.
No,
is
but you
exactly
see,
what happened.
They
It
No.
just wasn't as explained.
no, but like,
that's exactly
I
what
felt
happened.
what
She got
Toasty
admiration that he
was
wanted to
saying
fight.
too, like that they immediately like gave that little like that shyness. It's like no, like you can do the admiration without the shyness. Leave the shyness and all that love shit
Listen.
for the second season.
It was
So one of the way
Go ahead.
One of
go
the way
ahead.
they could have bonded after Richter ran away, she could have followed him. He could have told her his backstory, and then she would have realized, oh, he didn't run away because he was a little bitch. He ran away because he suffered from the same goddamn trauma I did. So
Yeah.
now I understand him better. We can, I guess, trauma bond.
Trauma
Instead,
buddies.
Trauma
That's exactly what
bond.
happened,
Yeah.
though.
That is not what happened.
That is not what
They're
happened.
not in a
Because
relationship.
she-
They're not in a relationship, guys.
Yeah, that's what-
That's not what happened. All
No,
that
they're not
happened
in a
was is that he came
relationship,
back.
but it's
and
like,
he came
it
back
was
and
so
he
obvious.
said,
They
Oh,
clearly
okay,
have
he
romantic
came back,
feelings.
Once again, to my subtitles on me that I'm speaking. He came back, right? And he said, "Oh, I'm down to fight. Like, let's fucking go," right? And all she did was she blushed. That's all she did. Like, nothing else happened. And so
Implying that there's a
man, I
romance.
want to suck a dick.
Yeah, y'all
That
are
just means
blowing this up.
He's like, oh wow, like that's something. Like I admire that about him, and maybe I might be interested in him later. But that's nothing else than that.
Yeah, y'all
like,
are
literally.
Y'all are blowing this up. Talking about hinting for the future. That was it.
That was the hint.
That was the hint.
One little one.
No.
One little thing.
It's not
one little
enough.
thing, and they didn't do anything else with it in the season, and that's okay. Because if they do with it more, sure, go do with it more. But right here, it was a hint, and we're moving forward.
It was forced.
It was not forced.
It was. They just
Yeah.
jammed it. They just jammed it down the throat. They're like, yes, we will ship.
It was not jammed
We
down
will
your
ship
throat.
Richter and Annette.
Those
They
hate
must
comments-
be
Half of
together.
those hate comments y'all see on social media about Miss Annette are from Dr. Mondo and Dr. Jason.
No, 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 no.
Like
Though,
Miss Annette,
no,
girl.
absolutely not. There
Cover
are
their ass.
there are
they employing
Annette
those comments?
there are
'Cause
Annette comments
guess
that
what?
are absolutely
Down with
abhorrent.
interracial. Down with interracial.
Oh my god,
Hey,
it was bad. It was bad. But
That was fine.
either way, one thing that we glossed over, and it's again crucial to Annette's backstory, her actual backstory, where she came from, the whole thing with the plantation. Did you guys like the flashback where in the new world, like what state? No, wait, no, they were in Saint Domingue. Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say what state were they in? But did you like this little flashback episode? I think it was episode 3. I think that was the
It was
whole
episode
flash.
I liked it.
2. No.
No, it was episode 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. They switched up the animation style, the art style during that episode, which I thought was really cool.
What, when the
Well, then-
vampire Von Blanc was like
it was like when they
screaming?
were running, or
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it was like a
Yes, yes,
watercolor.
yes.
It was
Little
like
spider-
a,
When they're
Spider-Verse
running
with that.
in
Yeah.
that episode, the
Yeah.
animation is very different from the rest. of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
it's very,
But I did like it.
very inspired. I guess the biggest thing about it is whether or not, because when it comes to black characters in fiction, it's like, what are you gonna root them in? Are you gonna root them in the problems of the racism of the mid 1900s? Are you gonna root them in police brutality? Are you gonna root them in slavery? Obviously, given the time period, they rooted it in slavery. And it's like, well, what are y'all gonna do? Is it gonna be better? Is it gonna be the same old, same old? And a lot of it was the same old, same old. It's tried and true. They're on a plantation. They get abused. Slavery's bad. Cut and dry. Now, obviously, they take the different route with, I think it's Mont Blanc. I don't remember his name.
Von Blanc.
Yeah,
something like
the slave owner is a vampire, so clearly he's evil on 2 parts. And they got the revolt going, and then Annette becomes this revolutionary leader as she is, and this badass. So it was fine. I wasn't like necessarily blown away. I was like, we're gonna see a lot of the same old. There's not really much more you can do. If anything, I would say Edward is a more interesting character as far as his backstory, simply because oftentimes the black nobleman of France is like, he was giving Le Chevalier, if you know Chevalier.
Yeah, I saw. Yep.
Toasty La
Yeah.
Chevalier.
What?
What?
He's asking Tosi if he's heard of Chevalier.
It just mean like horseman or something.
Oh no, this is a guy in history who was like
No, but I haven't heard of him.
Chevalier Saint George. Like they did a movie recently, so
They
pretty
did
much
do a movie.
like he was a very renowned composer. A gene like a,
And he was a
Oh,
fencer.
so like music.
no, like almost like the Black Mozart.
Hmm.
So like musicals,
Yeah,
Remember,
but like
I
he
don't
was
like-
he
I don't
was
like
given the
musicals.
title of Chevalier.
So yeah,
There
I
we
was
go.
saying.
So is he
like
based off that
musicals.
character, or is he just
he's
inspired?
definitely based off. He's inspired by that character.
Okay.
Yes, and I would say that's a side of history you don't often see portrayed. We've seen characters like Annette portrayed. Not to discredit her. Just yeah. They
Okay.
said, let's give our slavery story. 12 years a slave, Annette.
Oh, also, random side note. Since we're talking about Annette and Edward when they all die and like that whole thing in the outside or whatever, I looked at that and I was like,
Wait,
anybody
when?
who watches Bridgerton,
What part?
Oh,
you know the part where they're like snooping and spying and then
On
they
the
get
party.
caught.
Oh,
and they
okay,
fight all the
okay, yeah,
vampires
yeah.
at the party.
Yeah.
That outside looked like Bridgerton. Very shout out to Bridgerton with that too. But I said, was it a nugget because it's a Netflix show? Maybe, maybe not. But it really did look like Bridgerton the outside of it.
it's the same time period.
I think all courtyards are structured like
Is
that
it?
in the time period.
Well, anyway, all I know is when I saw that, I said, "Oh man, if Castlevania ever came out with live action, bitch, I would totally be there to see what the fuck they do with that."
That would be
Sure.
kind of
But these fight
interesting.
scenes won't compare.
They wouldn't, no. But I think, well, let's see, what else do we have? We have her flashback on the plantation. Oh, she God, this is like just another, it's not really a fault to Annette's character, it's just a fault to the writing. I thought it was kind of weak here. When she finally confronts Von Blanc, right? In the cemetery. I thought that sequence was cool. That sequence where she's like, I called it her black symbiote moment with oh my god, from Spider-Man 3 where she's like slamming all the pipes down around the vampire to trap him, but this time instead of with sound, it's crucifixes. So that was cool. He couldn't escape. It was his own prison.
Like that sequence of her like confronting him there was really, really cool.
Yeah, that was clean. That was
her confronting her trauma.
It was her
Oh
confronting
man,
her
it
trauma.
gave like Hashirama when he dropped them motherfucking gates on these hoes. I was like,
Oh
drop
my
these
God.
bitches and let this hoe have it. But you know what's cool? That was kind of growth-esque, whatever. But she gets information out of him, which is good and important. She's like interrogating him instead of just being like, I'm doing this for like all my ancestors and all these people. You know what I'm saying? She's like asking him like more about the girl, the queen or whatever, the Messiah, to get more information out of her, which was really, really good. I will say this, fault on the writing only because it's like the beginning of like episode 5 or something like that. And it's really fast.
The plot,
it's like super fast.
With Annette in this sequence, the plot basically falls into her lap. Because basically what she's walking around just randomly and she just happens to come across the carriage that's taking Drolta. She's like, oh, I want to follow that carriage. She follows it. They go to a cemetery. She listens in. Turns out Von Blanc happens to be there. Von Blanc happens to be there. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess Von Blanc's here, so I guess she'll have her revenge. It was weird. It was very fast.
Also like right before the crack of dawn. You know what I'm saying?
Conveniently right before the crack of dawn. You know she was not timing this. She did not say like, okay, let me get at least an hour head start before dawn bears. Like, no, absolutely
right. And
not.
I was like, you think that the Viscount said, you know what, girl, 15 more minutes of night before I go to bed, bitch. Fuck that. You know? So yes, I do agree that it was very given to her in this one moment, for sure.
It at least gave her the moment. So it was
a nice to fucking lay into this fucker.
Yes. Homie cooked. He cooked in that sun, and we love to see it.
Damn right, bitch. To a crisp.
And then I guess from here, Annette's final moment is just what she's trying to do the whole force push thing of the.
She's so fucking weak, bro.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Here comes Grandmaster Hoop defending mid. Oh, why you gotta do that?
Here, I got you. We push the Forge Master machine through the portal. Who needs a season 2?
She's still alive, the villain.
No, you know what else they could have done? I know we're gonna talk about Tara in a second, but Tara, when she was reading that little fucking book, why the fuck did she stay up there and not follow Annette's ass downstairs? Dumb bitch.
Because her daughter is upstairs. Oh well, we'll get to it. We'll get to
there.
Yeah.
But anyways, Annette, girl, she for all this iron that she be fucking pushing out.
I thought she would be able to do it. I don't know.
She can't break Edward out of a fucking damn prison. with the iron bars and shit.
She broke Edward out of the prison.
Did she?
Can't push
No,
that
she
fucking
didn't.
shit out. You know
She
what?
left
You
him
know what's
there.
funny? What you should have fucking did, and this also on
Come out at the end.
this is also on Edard's ass. Edard and his two little goonies or whatever should have came with the net and helped push that motherfucker.
I thought
out
they were
into the
going
shit.
to.
And
Oh,
they just
yeah.
sat their ass in the jail.
They
What the
watched. They just watched.
They said, "You better figure it
That's
out."
not their mission. Their mission is to go liberate other night creatures.
Right.
And they could have
right.
liberated
But
it
they
by making
stayed
sure
in
that
the
there's no more
prison.
night creatures to be made.
Yep. There it is. There it is.
It's about prioritization, you know.
This-
It's about,
yeah.
like,
They don't push. They sing.
her final sequence was just weird. She was singing Ave Maria.
He was
That was
giving the opera
beautiful.
version of "Remember Me" from Coco.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my God.
Wow. Classic.
Oh my
Classic. But yeah, that practically concludes Annette's character. I think we covered all of the major bits with her. So we got Richter, we had Annette, Maria, the
Is it
innocent.
Marie?
No, it's Maria.
Maria.
I think maybe you could go either one.
Yeah,
but
it's Maria, it's Maria,
yeah,
Maria.
Maria.
Maria the Abbott.
Marie
and
is Gen
Tara.
V. That's what it is. Yeah, sorry. Lots
Maria
of shows.
and Tara.
And the Abbott.
And the Abbott, all related. I was wondering for a long time why Tara was so obsessed with the Abbott. Because she's like,
that was
the,
obvious.
That
the
was
Abbott,
easy.
the Abbott.
That was
Oh my
obvious,
God.
though.
That was easy
You
to figure out.
can't be blonde in this universe and not be related.
As in, you
Of
can't
course.
fuck your cousin unless you're in that era.
Did-
I'm just kidding.
Jesus
That's me
Christ.
being unhinged.
My
That's me
goodness.
being unhinged. But yeah, easy way to fucking figure that one out is like she fucking was looking at him the whole time, and there was like so many little hints.
Oh, he
That
looked
they
at
gave throughout
her,
the whole
too,
show.
when he saw
Um,
her.
Yeah, it was just fucking weird.
Yeah.
No,
It was
and
so-
when he
Right.
said, and when I think like, and it was like very obvious because he was like, "Oh yeah, I have no problem killing everyone, but we will not kill the children."
Oh yeah,
Yes,
when
yeah,
Drolta
the
was
moment-
going to attack
And it was
her,
just like
She
referring
scratched
to
her.
Maria.
She scratched her.
she scratched
Mhm.
her.
Yes, and
Like
yes.
that was like, oh, this is so obvious.
We do
Like,
not harm the children. Yeah.
I said whatever. Also, back to Annette when Annette slammed Drolta with that motherfucking cage. Bad bitch. Back to
All of
Marie.
her fight, all of her fight sequences were
Oh
clean.
yeah,
They were clean.
Annette's fight sequences were.
Wait, are we talking about Annette or Maria?
I mean,
Maria.
just because we didn't touch on Annette's fight
But Maria,
sequences.
Maria, they also had a small fuck up in the show.
What?
Maria used to fight with only 2 birds, right? And then one of her birds died, right? And then they
Yeah.
go and
I
bury
thought,
the shit with Edard.
Yeah.
But then when she goes to fight again,
She has
she
another-
only brings out 1 bird, right? And then she brings
Right.
out the turtle and the tiger
cat,
or
yeah.
whatever, which is fine as well. But then, like later on, you see that she can produce like a bajillion motherfucking birds.
I don't think those were birds.
So-
Don't those like light projections?
No, but
of
then
the birds?
also like when she's fighting Sekhmet, she drops like 3 birds. And Sekhmet with the one hand goes bang, bang, and just fucking knocks these fuckers out.
She's trying her
or whatever.
best.
All to say that she should have had this many fucking birds. If she had this many birds, why the fuck didn't she let go of all these birds and only fight with 2?
I don't know why
Stupid.
she doesn't spam them. Like, just unleash the
Right.
whole
Oh my-
army.
it's
Just draw.
fine.
Fucking
No,
Vadar,
stop,
Naruto
Grant.
on
God,
his
it's
ass
fine.
and fucking
Mid is
smash the
fine.
square button, girl.
Quantumania's fine. It's 8 out of 10. It's okay.
That's who cares if she buried a bird?
She should have spammed them motherfuckers and been like, bitch, brave bird, brave bird, brave bird, brave bird.
They don't play Pokemon.
Whatever.
No, it's a tactic that they use to show that the character has growth later on, which is kind of dumb because she has all of those parts from the beginning. They were seen at the beginning where they were in danger. She didn't use it.
She only summoned
Why
2
didn't you-
birds.
Why didn't she use her power to save the dwarf?
Oh yeah, why not? Summon a bunch
Because
of characters.
We gotta,
All of
We gotta
those.
They need more seasons.
we gotta save. We gotta
They-
Go ahead,
Never
make an
We gotta-
excuse,
we
Grant.
gotta
Go
save
ahead.
the best action scenes for the finale.
Terrible.
That's why.
Terrible.
Well,
Edward
you
had
see-
to go.
She could have spammed the light birds at least to. I
You
guess
can blame it on the
not-
writing.
It is.
the
It
right-
is the right.
Yeah, you can. Because literally no one turned around to help Edward.
Yep.
He was
And
gone.
we're still on Maria, right?
We're
Yes.
still. I mean,
Maria's
you,
outfit is so cute. Shout out to the little pink and green.
I
outfit that
like
she
it.
has.
It's nice.
So fucking cute.
it's
oh
nice.
my gosh.
I like
I was
it.
like, she's such a cutie. Also, Maria got some hair. That bitch's hair is long as fuck. I didn't realize how long her fucking hair was in the beginning, but when she goes to bed and wakes up to go open that fucking door or whatever, I was like, damn, what the fuck is this? Rapunzel?
That thing reaches.
Jesus Christ.
Who cares?
Wow.
Random things to notice.
These are nice. It goes to character design. So yes, it is important.
Which I have my thoughts on the character designs as a whole compared to the original Castlevania.
Who cares?
Who cares? Who cares? Boring. Boring.
Maria's a cool character. I like her growth throughout the season.
I liked her. Every time she had a moment to speak or like just add to the conversation, it was usually the one that made the most sense. She was like, why are we doing this? We should be doing this instead. This makes a lot more sense.
She's the one that wants to have a plan. She's also a dumb bitch for going by herself to go warn her fucking dad about this fucking thing. I said,
Daddy,
what is up with all these kids and these parents? I'm kidding, no. That's terrible.
Well, hold on. So
they keep fucking up.
let's pair like her other characters that are involved with her. So we have Tara and the Abbot. Emmanuel. Thoughts on either character or both?
Tara's a bad bitch. Tara's just really old Sypha.
Tara was old. I thought they were gonna do something with her, like, oh, she's a descendant of a direct descendant of Sypha.
That's it.
But she's related. She's related in some capacity because I think Richter says like, oh yeah, she's like
Russian.
Well,
she's
Sypha
like
was part of a group.
a third cousin, twice removed.
I think the Seers, that's what they're called.
The
Speakers.
The speakers.
Yeah, she's from a clan of speakers.
Right. So
Just like Sypha. I think the only little difference is that Sypha was from the speakers in France and Tara was in Russia. That's like
but the speakers are no bad, so they could still be part
so
of
they
the
just like
same
move
tribe,
around.
But they just move.
So yeah,
but
remember when
they fucking and going, girl. They fucking and going.
They said that they were traveling and they just happened to stop in Russia for a little bit because they wanted to stay there. It's not implied they're from Russia. They were just all over the place.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then in the flashback too, they were wearing similar robes to Sypha as well.
No, like they were wearing the same robes.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, she's literally. They say it at first that Tara is Richter's aunt, but then when they bring it up again, he says, "Well, not really my aunt. She's kind of like my third cousin, 3 times removed, or something like." There's blood relation.
Yes.
There's blood relation, but it's very diluted. It's very diluted between them. So that's why, in a way, Richter sees Maria as like his little sister. But yeah, Tara was just an equally badass Sypha. She was nice. I like.
And she's gonna be better next season.
Oh my god! Oh, you know what? Yeah. What?
The twist.
The twist.
That twist fucking
The
ate.
ram.
Okay.
Where is the ram?
Yo, when she was in that mother Abbott's ass about I am the ram hoe and
that was good.
My heart.
That was good because the Abbot is just
aren't doing the work of God.
Okay.
Pussy.
Did you guys like the Abbot with this whole mentality of like making a blood pact with the devil to face off against the revolutionaries who are the real devils?
I'm gonna say this again, using the French Revolution as a background, as a backdrop to everything. I like how they interwove this mentality of, Christ be all.
No,
Christ
but it's
over
like
everything.
But we do that in Castlevania, the regular one.
No, but this one's different because you have the people who are burning churches, and this man just wants to protect the house of God.
Oh yeah,
with the devil.
Yeah, in a way. No, but it doesn't matter because even though they're a devil, they still, in a way, believe that there's a God. The French Revolution wiped religion from all public space to the point where if you work for the government, if you have a cross, you're not allowed to show the cross while you're walking in a government building. You're not allowed to wear religious outfit to schools.
Sacrilege.
That's causing a big issue right now with certain students of the Muslim background where they're not allowed to wear a hijab to school because French believe in secularism. Like everything has to be secular. No religion, nothing. So for him, from his point of view, his entire life is about to come crashing down. The church who used to be in charge, the church who used to be in charge is going to lose all influence to people that are anti-church, and we all know what's going to happen. those people, the minute they come anti-church, they will just wipe the church away. So he said, I'm fighting against two devils. I'd rather pair up with those devils that at least believe in the church.
Pick the lesser of two evils.
Yes. That's all it is.
Also,
it's weird because
justice for Hector too, because you know why? Hector is a better fucking Forge Master than this bitch.
100%.
Hector, yes, he
what? Abbott's a because Abbott's like a technician more than a motherfucking Forge Master.
Who actually is the Forge Master here? Is it the Abbott?
That's what he is. The Forge Master.
He is the Forge. Okay.
He is the Forge Master who made the fucking machine.
Yeah, you have to this is how I know you fell asleep during Castlevania. Yeah, you don't pay attention.
What the hell?
You don't pay attention.
Are looking for the Forge Master and like, oh, it's the
What are you doing in this pod?
No, it's Olrox. No, it's Malzark. Malzark.
No!
Thank goodness, it's finally my show. Guys.
Finally, now we could be more civilized in this discussion.
Right. I love all this space. Oh, Jesus.
But
no, the Abbott was trash as fuck.
He was just so aggravating.
Wish the Abbott had like some type of fighting combat or some shit. Cause he's just a fucking pussy.
I thought I thought he was gonna do something so cool where like when push came to shove and he was gonna like stand up for his daughter not being sacrificed. I thought he was gonna do some cool like shit with like the Bible and like do some spells. I mean that Zatchbell. Zakael.
I'm calling it right now. You're gonna see more of that next season once Terra actually is a vampire, because he's still gonna want to talk to her and she's gonna push back against him, and that's probably gonna cause some character growth.
I hope Terra eats him. Just kidding.
How do you think Terra's gonna like be with now that she's turned from Ursabet? How do you feel like Terra's gonna be in the next season? Do you feel like it's full on like full on indoctrination? She's like, nope, I serve Ursabet. There's no middle ground.
That blood.
I saw. Well, that was her turning though. That was her turning into the vampire. But like, or do you think like she'll be conflicted still when encountering like her daughter and Emmanuel saying, "Oh no, I don't want to fight them."
So they foreshadowed it though. They foreshadowed this though in the Edward whatever to kill this motherfucker, because Terra is the one that tells Annette or whatever about like to put him out of his misery or some shit. Like she's a part of that conversation or whatever, and Maria as well. So it's funny because they mentioned that in episode 3, and so my prediction is that like when it push comes to shove, it's gonna be like Maria versus Terra, and Maria's gonna have to fucking put her mom out of misery.
Oh, what a prediction!
Definitely with
that. Wow, Maria's gonna have to do it.
Any fucking way. Definitely can see that. And also on top of the Terra conversation, it's crazy because all 3 of the main characters, Annette, Maria, and Richter, all lose their mom. And it's like, it's just a mother killing central. This whole fucking
sounds intentional.
All of them fucking, their moms died. Every single one of them.
Sounds intentional.
Actually,
it's poetic. It rhymes.
No, knowing this show and the writers, it's most likely that Terra's going to cause trouble all next season. And assuming next season is the final season, at the end, she's going to end up betraying the Countess, and then Maria's going to kill her. Or she's going to sacrifice herself for Maria. That's what I'm calling right now. It's not gonna be
the new Drolta. I mean, they killed Drolta, so she's gonna probably be the new Drolta.
Oh like, commander.
Hopefully, she has better outfits.
Stop!
Hold on. Did you just say Drolta's outfits aren't good?
No, I said
Terra's
it was good.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant Drolta.
No,
Terra's gonna have to step to the plate.
I was about to be like Miss Drolta's fucking vampire outfit at the finale, girl. I was like,
perfect.
Damn, I feel like I have another bisexual awakening happening, girl.
Black cosplayers are going to eat that up.
Wow, you know what? Yeah, they could. They got a lot of options. Because she came out like in every episode with a different outfit. That was so cool. I like that.
If they can nail those boots, they win.
They win for sure.
Or that hair.
Those heels.
The titties. All of it, bro. They was giving.
Who else we got? I mean that's practically the Abbott, Maria, Terra. We knocked out those 3.
And
Olrox. Olrox.
Oh, they could so.
How did you like Olrox's I guess they try to like give him more character here. I don't really even know what he was doing here, to be honest. Like in the grand plot. like as to
Wait,
why
who-
he was
who
here.
are you
got called.
Wasn't he
got called to
invited?
France.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
like,
invited to
oh yeah.
France.
Oh, he was
Ulrich got
invited.
Called to friend. He was invited.
Okay.
He was
Okay.
invited
Okay.
by
Ursabeth.
Elizabeth, whatever. Like he's a renowned vampire in the New World, and he was invited over.
to
But
be
yeah.
part of the New World conquest.
Right.
So
but
that way,
it's so.
they're there,
But I really like this character because like the way he describes, he's very much his own. He has his own goals. He doesn't really care about anyone, and he's not a typical vampire. And he's because the way he says is like, yeah, I lost all hope and belief in gods and lords and all that when the conquistadors came and wiped out my people.
Well,
So
no, Esbeth was part of it. Remember, she mentioned it. Like he's like the conquistadors came, but the vampire that they had was this bitch, the motherfucking whatever.
no,
the
but,
bad
pretty,
girl.
but the way he describes it is like he's still, even though he's a vampire, he's like at least the first, to my knowledge, like in the series, that still carries like some connection to his past human self.
Humanity.
So like he clings
Humanity.
on
Yeah.
You
to
could
that
say he's
humanity
layered.
that he had, and that makes him like a very interesting character because like he's a terrifying vampire, but he still clings on to that.
Actually, that
Well,
raised
he
the
had-
question: what makes him so special? What is the criteria from you being turned into a vampire and still being normal?
I
Can we
guess
expect that with Tara?
that's more. I imagine that's
It's
something
like
they would.
Dracula, though.
Um,
He found love. That's like they explained that. Remember that they killed all his
Oh, no.
people, then he became a vampire, and then he ended up falling in love with somebody.
But
like
I
another
guess
I'm
vampire.
toasty means like
I'm wondering
what
who's
makes
his
him
master?
what makes him
Yeah.
important in this
Yeah, not only
mythos.
that,
Like
who turned him into a vampire? If he
Yeah.
was turned into
Yeah.
a vampire by somebody else and he still have free will, why can't Tara also have the same thing? How
Well, Tara
is
can
the
have free
Countess-
will.
Well,
but
unless
Tara's-
that previous vampire of his, the previous vampire that turned him died. That's also
But Tara is
I mean-
directly under Sekhmet.
yeah,
So
I
her-
think that's a special
Exactly, it's like a
circumstance with
different-
Tara
I
because
guess,
it's
yeah.
like the goddess blood that's turning her into a vampire versus whoever would have done it to Olrox, which is probably just a regular
I guess
vampire.
that makes sense. Because I remember in the last season, the main villain, the one with white hair, I can't remember her name.
Carmilla?
Carmilla.
yeah.
Remember,
Bad
she was
bitch.
also turned into a vampire by that old vampire that kept her as a slave.
Yeah,
And then she ended up killing him before she somewhat had free will where she was able to hate the person who turned her into a vampire.
yeah.
And I mean, for Dracula, we don't know if Dracula ever turned anybody, so that's an issue, but I guess.
I don't think he did. I think he just killed everyone. They pissed him off.
Yeah.
Olrox and what's his name?
Mizrock.
Mizrock.
All right, let's talk about it. With their sex scene, right? Netflix for sure said, we gonna put the gays naked because they always do this all the time. And I ain't mad about it because Mizrock could for sure fucking get it, and even Olrox too. But Mizrock, fuck yeah.
Mizrock, the
Yes,
the
I also fucking
general?
knew Mizrock was fucking gay. I looked at him and I was like, he's giving kind of gay vibes. And then they sealed the deal. Then, like the beginning of episode 4, I said, homos.
I mean, the first
So-
thing they did, there was like a lot of sexual tension when they first met. I'm like, what is this? Why are they like
Yeah.
on top of each other? Like first
Yes.
meeting, and I'm like, well, that would be funny if they do something with that. Next episode, bam.
I just wonder if that's in the games also.
I don't know. No, that is not
No,
in the
I doubt
game.
it.
I don't even play the games, and I know that's not in there.
Yeah,
Because
but,
Olrox wasn't really even he was a character, but like he was like a sprite, like a little character thing from like the old game. So there are characters that have major glow ups in this. Like Drota was like an old like raggedy witch from like the old games. Drota got a glow up. Olrox got a glow up. So those two definitely top tier.
Yeah, Olrox.
I like Olrox.
So Olrox, anti-hero, love him so much. Also, Olrox is really good for the show because he adds that juxtaposition for Richter when Richter and him have that like confrontation in like episode 7 or whatever, and he gives him the book.
Yeah.
He's like, he explains to him that like Like, cause you know Richter's all like, "You killed my mom. You're fucking the worst. You're a vampire. You must be bad."
Listen,
And he's
hold
like,
on a sec.
And what happened?
Oh no, I
No,
was saying
he's
Richter's like,
quoting
what?
Ol-
Olrox.
yeah.
So hold on.
Oh yeah, and then Olrox is like, "Hold on, bitch. I was just trying to live my life and be happy with my man, you know. And your fucking mom came killed my man, you know, and killed his lover, you know. So it's like cool to see the juxtaposition of like the good and evil. Like definitely gave me like Tokyo Ghoul vibes a little bit, you know, like in the first season when they like talk about like, oh, like ghouls are all bad, and it's like ghouls are just trying to live their fucking life, and so the vampires trying to live their just like life too.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it's just like really cool. Like it's really special with that. And then when it comes to Mizrock, it's really special with him too, because he is like super about like God and all this Christian stuff and all these things. And he's just like, I'll do whatever it takes if it's the will of God. And then when he comes to that realization that, oh shit, the abbot is fucking nuts and this is not the will of fucking God, he still, what you realize, he's not the will of God. He's just the will for justice, you know? And so he partners with the other group and he's like, oh no, I'm going to be with what I believe is going to, he's led with like his heart of like justice, you know? And I think that's what Olrox is truly attracted to him more than anything.
And
I mean, besides him being fine as hell.
Like, you know, it's also cool to see because Orlok, it starts with Mizrock, it starts like, it's just like, oh yeah, it's just like, well, you are a hot piece of ass and I want that.
With that though, there was a line I thought was so funny. It was where it was in that bedroom scene and where Olrox is telling Mizrak about his past life with like his previous lover and how he turned him. And then Mizrak's like, oh, what? So you're going to turn me too? And Olrox is like, no, silly. Why would I do that? I don't love you.
And he does love him.
And he does. Ooh, he was crying.
Olrox is definitely the bottom. Calling it now. Mizrock definitely the top,
no, it gave vibes.
Sure. And if it's the other way around, you know, good for fucking them. But I was just like,
Mizrock would die if he got by a vampire.
Mizrock, what? Like, if he got topped by him?
Yeah, vampire.
What the fuck then? How did Lisa Tepes survive Dracula? Because Dracula definitely was in her guts too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why she ended
up. That's how she had fucking all Alucard. What the fuck?
That's why they had to burn her. That's why they had to burn her.
Bitch.
Explain it.
Birthed a whole vampire baby. They were literally living their Bella Edward fantasy of Twilight, bitch. And that's what the fuck was happening.
Goodness.
So no, she definitely Dracula Tepes was in them fucking guts for sure. And so was Miss Mizrock. He said, I'm fucking Olrock for justice.
Olrock, his thing would have turned into that feathered serpent.
Yep. And you know what? Good for fucking him.
These are not your fantasies. Let's stop.
Also, Olrox is cool because he doesn't turn into a bat. He turns into like a cloud.
He also turns into a giant feathered serpent.
Yeah, but like he turns
to
into
get
mist.
away.
He
does
like
the mist.
That's like a special vampire, you know?
He's better than the rest.
He's
like that one the gas Asian one from Castlevania. The girl that she like a gassed one, and then like whenever like Alucard tried cutting her in that one fight scene.
Okay, yeah.
Turned to gas, and the only way she died was Sypha fucking froze that hoe and said, bah, bitch, boom, and knocked her ass out.
Put her in her place.
Sorry. Anyways, go gays. Love the representation, and I'm happy that they're hot. You know what? Even if they're not hot, we love not hot people too. But
we like it that they're great characters.
Even better.
Sure.
But there's Olrox. He kind of like helps them in the end, so that was kind of neat. And then, I mean, really, the only other character left is Juice.
The twist.
Twist.
Juiced.
Well, Juiced Belmont, the grandpappy. The grandpappy.
Yeah, he was useless.
He was the weakest, I think.
That could have been something so cool.
Because
you don't know anything about him.
Who what?
Plays his voice?
Who plays his voice?
Actor?
Who?
That is Sir Jorah Mormont.
Oh shit! Are you serious?
Oh
Game
yeah,
of Thrones.
Yeah, his voice is very familiar.
The Sam that was with Daenerys.
The stone disease. The stone disease.
The guy who was in the Battle of the Underwater, whatever. Season 2, right?
Huh?
He had the stone disease. He had the stone. Like
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I love you, Khaleesi.
Yes.
Yeah,
wasted,
I mean,
wasted.
He had a
But
cool
that's not wasted. He
intro.
could be in season 2.
He didn't do anything.
Well, I mean, no, he really didn't. He really didn't do anything because what he had his like he explains his backstory like, oh, I got all pissy after wife, best friend died, so I ignored Julia Belmont, my daughter, my only family left. He says all that. He has the moment with what's his name, Richter, where he helps him in that awakening moment with the whip. You don't see Juiced after that episode. He is gone.
And he's in the town.
He's in the town, so it's like, what? I don't understand.
Yeah.
You just decide not to help? To help?
I told Tara
like Juice Belmont
that I'd
was
send money.
I sent Tara money.
Your character, to say the
Damn
least.
that Tara for telling you that I was here. She
What's
didn't
up?
tell me you were here.
What's supposedly he's really good at magic. So like he's one of like the best
He
with
better-
magic.
he
So
better step
I'm waiting for
He
that.
bet-
I think
yeah.
that it's gonna be season 2. If you saw the season 2 announcement, he's in it. He's in the announcement. So
Oh, in the layout, the
and
character
little
layout
thing, they have, like
things.
the little animation drawing of him.
Okay.
So he's coming back, bitch.
He
And
better
they'll give him
explain why he
something-
wasn't there.
He's gonna also probably fucking die. They're probably gonna kill his fucking ass, but he's gonna have to part something on Miss Richter so that Miss Richter can be ready. That's it.
Fair enough.
But he's coming back. He's coming back. They give a
Dude,
little. They give you a little tease.
Do him
you know?
justice, please, in season 2.
Richter is not the only living Belmont, as he so thought. So I guess that's cool.
He's
Yeah.
not
If
the
there are
last
more,
descendant.
but if there are more Belmonts out there, I think that'll be a cool little.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Not
how
a
is there
twist.
not more Belmont? Like
That's
it's
what I'm
ridiculous
saying,
that-
right? How
Why
there
is he
only
the
one
last
branch?
descendant?
Why is there
It's
only
like,
one branch?
damn, like,
Yeah.
what do you Belmonts to always
Like,
be down?
They're like pandas. They only keep
Exactly.
one of the kids.
Yeah, well,
Yup.
or they only
Oh,
have,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
They only have one kid, and it's a direct line.
Yep. They're fucking nuts.
I mean, yeah, it's
and
one of
that's
those things
ridiculous.
that they explain, or not explain, but that's how the games are, I guess, and they didn't want to really deviate too far from it. It's like, nope, this is the next one, then the one after that, then
What
the
if
one
he
after
dies?
that. Too
Yeah,
bad.
shit out of luck.
Have a descendant.
keep-
Have a
the
descendant.
Uchiha clan, girl.
Well, they keep calling it. They keep calling it the Belmont clan, and
As
then we
if-
only ever see one person.
One.
Right.
Right.
And
So
it's implied that there was a clan before because they had that giant ass mention.
They had the
Right.
library. They had the estate.
Oh, they need the
Um,
Morning Star again, bitch. Let me tell you something. Mr.
Oh, the
Juice
Morning
no,
Star
we know.
whip.
used that motherfucking whip.
Oh,
And yeah, that's cool. They can use the fucking powers. But Morningstar, looking back on it, Morningstar was OP as
We
fuck.
know who has the
Yeah.
Morning Star.
Oh yeah, Alucard.
Wait, who
for
has
sure.
the Alucard?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure. He's about to give him to that fucking.
Speaking of Alucard,
Okay,
ooh,
so this was the one expectation I had going into the show. I think it was.
He got it spoiled. Don't
No,
let
no,
him say
no,
it. He did not
oh,
predict
oh
it.
wow, you did not
No,
predict it.
no,
I predicted it though.
No, I
Me too.
I
Oh my God.
predicted this. I predicted this because I was like, wait a minute, he's alive.
Yeah.
He's a vampire. So I was like, and I said, if he's not in the show, that'll be a waste. Like if he doesn't come up at any point.
Mhm.
Now I will say, after I made that prediction, I looked at the cast list and I saw the actor's name, and I was like, there it is.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
come
No.
on.
Yeah, so you're bad.
I didn't know
No.
how he was going to
Okay.
show up though.
A spoiler.
That's a spoiler. It's a
Um,
spoiler.
But
Yeah.
I also said like
But you
in
spoil
true Castlevania.
yourself.
I didn't. It was
Right.
fine. I already called it. That's why I was like, I
You
wasn't
did it.
Spoil
about it.
yourself.
You spoiled it,
wasn't
and then
beating
you
up.
said, "I knew it."
Let me tell you what a spoiler is. A spoiler is when
Ethan
you
Hooper.
learn something and it hurts to learn that because it takes
No.
away from your enjoyment.
A-
Yes.
Toasty,
spoiler
tell
can
him
be
no.
even-
No. A spoiler.
No, you don't know.
is-
Toasty's saying
why-
no. You
why
can't
they
say
call-
no back.
Why they call it a spoiler is because it ruined something for you. That did not ruin anything for me. I already figured he was alive.
No,
It
what?
ruined the
No,
ending, because
enough.
when the
That
ending happened,
No,
I
no, no,
literally
no.
was
That
mad.
ending-
So, let me
ending was
spoil.
so clean because of you're
Okay.
wondering like, okay, Drolta's here, that they can't fight her because they're on the run, and someone
so-
comes in and saves them. You're like, oh my god, who is it? Is it Juiced? It's gotta be Juiced. It's Juiced Belmont. Oh my god, it's Alucard.
All right, so the scene wasn't spoiled for me. Him in the show, I didn't know where he was going to show up.
But if
So
it's
that
the
wasn't-
end, you know it's gonna be here.
It was fine. The scene itself was. Still
You ruined it
great.
for yourself. No.
I
Okay,
didn't.
No.
let me counter it.
Anyway,
Let me
No.
counter it.
irrelevant.
Toasty, Toasty,
irrelevant.
put him in his place.
Irrelevant.
A spo-
because
a spoiler?
obviously-
A
Go
spoiler
ahead.
doesn't have to be ruining the story for you. So, for example, there's a game series that Armando and I play, Yakuza. And the game that's coming out in February, there's a quote unquote spoiler that one of the older character is gonna return. For us, that is a spoiler. We didn't know that character's gonna return, but we don't know the context. That doesn't ruin the story for us. That doesn't ruin anything.
For Alucard.
But you still knew, so you were spoiled that he was returning. It's just you did not know what context he was returning, so you got spoiled.
You got spoiled.
So
it's okay. It's okay to say it's okay. It's okay to say that you blew the trap up in your face. You went to see the cast.
Yeah.
You screwed up by looking at Alucard's in this. Oh wow.
I'm telling you. And
right that's now, okay.
I was perfectly fine.
No, as an example, if somebody never read the Harry Potter book, you can say, yeah, Voldemort dies at the end. That's a spoiler, and that should be obvious. But you don't know the context and how he died.
Sure.
So it doesn't hurt. But if I told you Voldemort died because Harry blasts him away at the battle of blah, 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 that's a spoiler that's going to hurt you because you're going to know the context of when he died.
I did not know the context of how Alucard was going to show up.
You were spoiled that he was returning.
I was not spoiled because it did not hurt me.
Wow.
To know because I already predicted he would be in the show.
It's like talking to a
10-hour podcast and
I'm like, who cares?
What are spoilers?
It's y'all trying to put this idea on me. Y'all no. You see, y'all do this thing where you try to project onto me. I said I wasn't bothered. Leave it alone. There it is.
Spoiled.
It's okay.
Anyways, back to
Alucard.
Right? Alucard.
Glow up or glow up. Listen, we moved on. Stop that. Enough. We moved on.
The mic is on, but not for you.
Glow up or bust up. Bust down. Bust up.
Listen,
glow up or bust down.
This goes to the animation change. The animation style changed significantly in this series. It was better in the original.
Yes, I agree.
I like Alucard's design.
I like Alucard's design because
it shows him older.
It shows him older.
He's a vampire.
And no, because
he did not get older.
No, there's some implications to this, right? So with Alucard, this particular design, and this is my very limited knowledge of the games.
I know it's from a game, right?
It's from Symphony of the Night, which is, people say it's the best Castlevania game ever made. So that's and Alucard's the main character in that game. Instead of playing as a Belmont, you play as Alucard. That's his design. He has white hair, pale skin. But for story context, there's some implications here where like his skin is more pale than it was in the prior iteration. That could imply that he kind of locked himself up in his castle after Trevor and Sypha died, and he was just more lonely. Saw the sun less. Hair became more bleached. I liked it. I thought it was a glow up.
I don't think
he got older. He's also half human.
It's not older.
I assume that he got like some kind of awakening power. The sun thing doesn't make sense because in the previous show, he was also locked up for a while. Because he was locked up before they found him. So
he was in the coffin. Yeah, he was in the coffin.
Yeah,
he's able to go in the sun though.
Yeah, he's able to go to the sun, but I doubt not going in the sun is gonna make him turn into an eyebrow, because that's what we're playing right now. Like he went underground and say, "Oh, my hair's gonna completely turn white." No, I'm assuming he got some kind of awakening, and they're gonna explain next season. Is it gonna be bullshit?
So you don't think it's like a design?
No, I think it is a design choice,
but they're gonna explain it.
A design choice. They can explain because we never played the game. We don't know why Alucard looks like this in that specific game, and we don't know if Alucard is in the other games and how did he look in other games.
Well, in that,
if that makes sense.
In that specific game, that is how he looked, and any other prior game that had him, it was just like like the 8-bit old games where you couldn't really tell what he looked like. So this was like his first. His first like actual design that was like, oh wow, I could actually tell what he looks like now.
So we can assume that maybe he gets kind of awakening power, or he gets some ability. He's been experimenting. They're gonna come up with some BS story as to why they did it. The question is, are the writers gonna be more competent season 2 compared to season 1, or they're just never gonna mention it? Because knowing those writers,
I feel like they're not gonna mention it. I feel like it's a design choice alone.
Yeah.
He's the same age.
What do you mean by same age? Like what are you saying?
Age. He's a vampire. They don't age.
Okay, you're right. Moving on.
He grew from a baby to a young man when he was born.
Because he's the damp mirror. And then they cut off.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. So yeah, that's what the twist was great.
Twist was
Yes,
nice.
it was a great
It was
twist.
fun.
Yeah, that was a
and-
good choice.
And that's really where the season ends. Are there any other I think we covered all the characters, or at least
We
anyone that
covered
had
it all.
significance.
I mean, there was Edward's lover. That's never gonna be mentioned again, but there's that.
Oh, Edward's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I said
he's-
Edward's gay
He's
too.
never seen that. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
do you think just Edward's gonna lead a liberation of night creatures, and that's his whole?
So we
Thing.
want to talk expectations for season 2.
Let's talk expectations for season 2, which we do have greenlit. It is a thing. It's happening, and
Fast as hell.
it's
Oh my
supposedly not gonna.
it's
take
not
us
that
on.
fast. One Piece live action was faster.
Oh my god. Look at me. Do I care? No. Anyway, season 2 is gonna be great. Let's see what's gonna happen. All these mothers are fucking dead.
All these mothers.
Right. Maria's
They're already dead.
gonna kill Miss Tara. Season 2, episode 7 is gonna be phenomenal because season 2, episode 7 of Castlevania was phenomenal.
Basic.
Six.
Oh, and 6 also, but 7 was the one, for sure. Because 7 was the one with like Dracula when they go like, was it Dracula versus whatever his name is, Alucard?
Oh,
What we talking about?
Yeah,
yeah.
Episodes?
Season 2, episode 7 of Castlevania, regular.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Anyways, go back. Was gonna say, Richter and Annette's relationship may form.
It will
It's there
blossom
already.
No,
It's
it's,
weird.
not.
It's
to a
weird.
beautiful biracial flower.
Forced.
Yep.
Forced.
Yep.
Woke.
That is not what's being
Whoa.
said.
What did I say? And then also, I'm definitely thinking Mr. Granddaddy Belmont's gonna die.
No,
Juice.
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 All the Belmonts need to die because that's how the
What?
game goes. You can't be the last one if there's still another.
Rick-
So you gotta
Wow.
No,
Yeah.
It's like he's out.
that'd be dumb. They always kill the old man.
He's gonna die.
If I'll tell you who's gonna die, Alucard's gonna die.
No,
No,
what?
but-
No, he's not gonna
Oh,
die.
Oh,
No.
Oh,
Boo.
It
You
doesn't
can do it.
happen in the game, so it's not
It
gonna
does-
happen here.
oh, yeah, because Annette was black in the games.
Annette
Right?
ended up with Richter, which is what you guys want. But do it, do it, make them have babies.
Alucard is just like that blows the plot in a totally different direction.
Alucard's not gonna
Annette
die.
being black
Alucard's not gonna
versus
die.
white does not change the plot.
Listen. I don't know how close these things are to the games, and I don't really care. I look at it as its own thing.
Mhm.
To be a giant curveball is to kill Alucard, or
not booty for
Alucard
It's too
dies.
much.
So that
Just
would
kill
mean to
Richter
end
while
them.
you're at it.
They're not gonna
Actually,
kill
no.
Alucard,
Actually,
because
no.
Alucard needs to come
They're-
back for Juliet.
They're
Okay.
not gonna kill Alucard because because this is an adaptation Nocturne of like one of the games. I think it's called Rondo of Blood. They have not yet adapted Symphony of the Night, which is Alucard's game. They're not gonna kill Alucard
Which
because
I
they
think, doesn't that take place before?
No, it takes
no
after.
after. I think it takes place after this.
Yeah, that's what I was pointing
yeah.
out the year.
So
Because what year is this show?
1792.
17. Yeah, what Apex
Yeah,
said.
1992.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, Alucard is not gonna die this
Well,
season.
again, I'm gonna say this. I don't know how closely they're following to the games. It
Stop,
seems they're
stop
trying to do
it.
a little bit of their
Actually-
own thing.
When
Whoa.
you've been proven wrong, but you just
listen,
keep on going.
That's why,
Damn.
again, you're projecting. You think I care whether
Projecting,
I'm wrong or I'm not.
boring.
I really don't care. But
Just
if
call
you were
it what I
to,
see.
if you could call what it, y'all so fascinated with me.
Here
That's
we
all
go.
right.
Do y'all think
'Cause you're
Miss
so
Dracula's
eager.
gonna come in season 2?
Who?
Because that's a potential.
He's
Who?
Miss
dead.
Dracula.
Miss Dracula?
Not Miss Dracula, as in Dracula. But I'm just saying.
Oh no. Well, funny enough.
Because Dracula could be alive, but I feel like Dracula would have just offed himself with
Well,
Lisa when Lisa died.
So he is technically still alive, from the prior series. But one of the themes that always carries throughout the games of Castlevania is someone's always trying to resurrect Dracula. Someone's always trying to bring him back. I feel like for the show, they're not gonna exhaust that because they already kind of did it in a way. They were trying to bring back Dracula in the prior seasons when he was already gone.
Mhm.
This time, I mean, he is alive technically, but I don't know. It's like if they bring him back, okay, is he gonna kill people? Because it's like, wow, that character development kind of went down the shitter.
Olrox is the one that's gonna try to bring him back. He said his ulterior motives.
We still don't know his real motives. We don't know
and
what
Dracula could be the one to defeat Sekhmet.
Yeah.
It could try to face off Powerhouse against Powerhouse.
Yep.
Dracula
Very
versus
much
Sekhmet.
could be a
Like
thing.
use one Messiah or one devil against another devil.
You know what?
Maybe
I think
Richter brings back fucking Dracula to fight.
Listen, Dracula is probably alive because they're not going to do the whole thing where Dracula's in hell again.
not probably. He
because-
is alive. Like he
Right.
is.
No, I think he could have died because it's been 300 years, so he could have died
He's
like
a
when Lisa died.
vampire.
When Lisa
Oh,
died,
maybe when Lisa eventually
right,
died, he's
he
like,
said,
I
"I'm
can't
gonna
do
go
this
with you,
anymore.
bitch," and he fucking offed himself too.
Let's perish
That's
together.
impossible. Sorry.
He's alive.
Sorry.
He's alive. He's alive. And Alucard's gonna die, and Alucard's
Oh
death
my
is gonna
God.
motivate him to step up to the plate.
Do not let
Actually,
you know
Grandmaster
what?
Hoop
Victor
in the
and Annette don't
writer's
get together,
room.
but it's Annette and Marie, and we're here for the lesbians. Gang,
You,
gang.
you know what character?
Marie is
I-
a child.
Maria.
Okay, you know what character I'm wondering they're gonna
He's
have in this
16.
show?
What?
Napoleon. Napoleon could show up.
He
And
could.
Napoleon's a
Napoleon
vampire?
Could be a vampire.
No, I don't know if he's gonna be a vampire. He could be a vampire or just be one of the powerhouse. Because technically, Napoleon is against the church, so he could be one of the characters
Yeah.
that they go to or that they meet in the following series. It depends on how many years if they do any time skip, but he should be around this part.
Yeah.
This is what I like about Castlevania when they take historical type of figures and they have
Yeah.
fun with them, like how we saw with like Ursabet and some of these other characters that we've been seeing. That'll be interesting. That's what I want in season 2. I want them to do better than how season 1 was. I'm gonna give season 1 some tough love. The highs were really high. I enjoyed it overall, but some of them lows, man, I don't
It
know.
was dog shit. Just say it. It was dog shit.
I don't know if I would say
it was dog shit.
it was
Like-
in comparison to prior seasons. Yeah, I would say it's weaker than some of the especially with seasons 1 and 2. I think seasons 1 and 2 is peak Castlevania, very minimal flaws. Season 3 was
Yeah.
weird. It was weird. Season 4 rectified it. Nocturne took a step down, I think.
I want a vampire George Washington.
George Washington would be dead at this
Wow.
point.
It's 1792, and I looked it up, and
Wait,
it's
no,
a presidential election year with when John Adams is gonna win. So don't play me, bitch.
Yeah.
Thank God you were a
And
math
And he's
teacher.
about to die.
Jeez.
No, he doesn't die for like another
He doesn't
6-7
die.
years.
He becomes a vampire.
No.
My
fuck
God.
that.
No,
So
but-
so he can have wooden teeth, wooden fangs. You want him to have wooden
He
fangs?
died in 1797, bitch. No, not even.
1799.
99. No.
This
Look at that. So much wiggle room.
1799.
They're going to explore
want-
the new world, and you're going to find out that either all or some of the founding fathers were vampires.
Thomas
Honestly, that's a
Jefferson
good.
is a vampire.
They
Andrew
could.
Jackson.
Andrew
Soil of
Jackson.
Tears.
If
He
you're
fucking
naming
was there.
you're naming all the slave owners, so yes.
No,
Thomas.
another one.
Wow.
Benjamin Franklin with electricity. He could be the one they
Donald
bring
Trump
up
Is a
to
vampire.
power up the
Oh my
machine.
God.
Well, that's if they want to go back to America. I like the French Revolution setting. I don't see them going
I
back
do,
to
but like the
America.
new world is also interesting.
I thought so too, and then they said, "Let's leave."
Civil War. Abraham Lincoln's a motherfucking vampire.
That's fucking so much later.
Listen,
So what?
it's
They
good to
jumped 300
predict.
years. You tell me they can't jump 75?
So we're gonna get a new Belmont.
Why the fuck not?
You could.
Julius.
Julius.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a Julius. Oh, he's the son. Yeah, the son
Yeah,
of.
well, I
Annette.
heard about that. And Julius is supposed to be like the biggest Belmont. He's like the last one. So that's why I said they're gonna have a third series probably.
Yeah,
they're definitely
jump
gonna
to-
milk it. They're definitely
They're
gonna
gonna
milk
jump
it.
to the 90s.
They better. This is anime. This is Netflix's best animation adaptation.
You could
Oh,
call it an
yeah,
anime.
it
It's an
is.
American. It's
It's-
an American anime.
Yeah,
It's one of
their
the
best one they have.
It's one of the
period.
few reasons that I still am even subscribed to Netflix still. It's just for Castlevania. It's fantastic. But
choices, but yes.
go. But I guess those are our thoughts for a season 2. Wrapping it up, what did you guys think of Nocturne season 1? Was it a dud? Did it have some bumpy roads? Was it just peak fiction perfection? How did you guys feel overall? And I guess you could give a score if you want to give an arbitrary score if you want to.
So
It
yeah,
was fine.
Like for me, peak animation. The story had its little bumps, but overall, I think it was fine. Like I enjoyed the series. I binged it. Like I think it captured me sufficient that I was like, okay, I want to see the next episode, and like I just binged it. I wasn't bored at any point in the story, but I am excited for like what comes next. You know, like the threads that are still there. You know, Alucard. Maybe Juiced, who was a total waste here, will have a role to play in the next season. You know, like there are a lot of things that one can be hopeful for in the second season. So I think I would give it an 8.
I love Legend of Korravania.
Legend
just
of
kidding.
Korravania. Oh wow,
kidding.
I get it.
Just because it's the second
Right.
series.
Yes.
But no, I give it a 9 out of 10.
Go!
It does have its faults on certain things, so I'll give it that. I have to rewatch it. Maybe I'll give it a higher score.
Oh!
That's just how I usually work. But no, I give it an A. It was a 9 out of 10 for sure. Great sequel. Usually when it comes to these motherfucking sequel series, after such a great show, they usually fuck up, and they really didn't fuck up that bad. I think that this is like, it's just a good like a new generation of like Castlevania, and I think that these people who like, you didn't have to watch the other Castlevania to love this one. It was better than season 1 of Castlevania. Season 1, because season 1 Castlevania only had 4 episodes. So there is that. Yeah.
No.
I have something to say about that.
Controversial.
Very controversial.
That logic.
And even with the logic, bitch, Castlevania season 1 was great, but it was not better than this one. Period. I will stand by her.
Strong.
If they gave her 8 episodes, maybe they would have fucking got her. But no, just 4 episodes. No, bitch, it wasn't giving better than Castlevania Nocturne. But yes, good on Netflix, Castlevania Nocturne. I cannot wait till this next season. The season after that, bitch, give it yes.
I can't.
Next.
I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead, Toasty.
Well, unlike some people, I don't accept mediocrity. So, first of all, the language got to me, because if y'all gonna do Creole, do it right. I was offended. Not really. But I will say I was offended for people online. But apart from that, I give it a 7 out of 10. There are too many little things I didn't like about it. It's possible that they're building it up to the second season, which is maybe the advantage that they have. But it depends how quick the second season is. But for me, like, it still felt like there were too many things that just came out of nowhere. Everything just kind of fell in the correct direction for almost all the characters throughout the story. And I mean, I don't know. Like, and personally, I don't like the characters as much as the previous season character. There's that too.
That's fair. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm gonna give this season some tough love. I won't deny. I had fun. I had fun watching it. Yeah, that's fair. But just going back and really thinking on certain things, like Richter not going back to see if his friends are alive, the plot falling into Annette's lap to a degree. I didn't have those problems in the prior seasons of Castlevania. Score wise, I'm sitting at like a 7.5. At first I was at an 8 when I initially got done watching it, because that finale was just fantastic. The fight sequences, the scale of it was all great. And then also seeing Ursabet Battery be like this OP vampire where it's like she's immune to everything. And it's like
she was the best character from this season, and they killed her off. That pissed me off.
No. Ursabet, not Drolta.
Oh no, never mind.
I'm saying at the end when she like becomes like the lioness, Sekhmet. She's like OP. Nothing can work on her. I'm like, I don't know how the hell they're gonna kill her or do damage, but that was all really cool. Like the finale was really strong, I feel like, but everything else, it's like, God, man. I'm going to give you some tough love on a season 1, so that way when you get to season 2, you rectify all that. You fix it. And maybe we'll be at a 9. But
They can do it. Yeah.
7.5. Do better. I know you can do better because they've done better, and that was season 1,
That's
2,
just y'all
and
not
4.
giving it.
4.
You're
Fantastic.
undercutting because you just want to. Hell no. Give me some
Too
regular
mid.
anime that can do this
I
shit.
think
Not
we're
many.
waiting for Grandmaster Hoop to give his
10 out of 10, obviously.
Y'all are waiting. I'm just here.
Oh God, just fucking go.
Just give your
I'm here.
give your hot take. Just go.
It's not that hot of a take. It's a 7.
Worse
Oh.
than.
Oh,
You know what? No, I won't do
Worse
it this
than
time.
what?
Right.
Don't compare movies to.
What movie? What movie was I thinking of?
what
You're
movie?
thinking of Quantumania because
Wow.
these
Wow.
two are so comparable.
I
I
wasn't thinking of that.
You sure were.
I
but it's
wasn't.
okay.
I was gonna
Grandmaster
say
Hoop also
Puss in
fell
Boots.
asleep in half the series, so.
And I went
that's
back and
half the
rewatched
score.
them. I went back and
Now I'm
rewatched
fucking
them.
to die.
I did.
You didn't
I
even know
did.
what a Forge Master was.
I know what a Forge Master is. I do. Oh, so what? Is a 7 not a good enough score to your 7.5?
No.
I give it a
wasn't even
7.
good either.
Yeah, what's the problem? I can't give it a 7? Is
Y'all
that
give it a C. It's an average season.
would you like me to say
An
it's a 10?
average
That's what I'm
season
gonna
in
say.
comparison
I
to the
gave it a
prior
B.
seasons.
See, but you're comparing.
You have
That's
to.
not fair.
You have
I'm
to.
going to
It's
say-
is it called Castlevania?
You know what? Even if the comparison,
I'm gonna
no,
call it.
yeah.
I'm gonna say it's a 7, simply because I don't know. I wasn't as engaged with this story as I was with the previous series, and that's what it comes down to. I will give this series credit. I think Castlevania. I think the best part of it is a lot of its lore, its world building. I think that is the most creative and engaging aspects of the show. Like I said, with Olrox and Annette, and where her magic stems from. I really dig those parts of the show. I like where they take ideas of the lore and expand upon them. Just look at Edward and the night creatures having a soul. That's something we didn't see in the previous series.
Wait, yeah,
those
we did.
ideas. Who?
Your favorite character, Isaac, when he was having that conversation with the night creatures saying,
Oh,
do we have to murder? This is how I know you didn't watch the prior series.
all right. I forgot about that, but I know what you're talking about. And that's why Isaac is such a great character. What I'm getting at is we have a night creature who's at the forefront, is a prominent character with this idea. All right. That is not something that was in the prior series.
Fly eyes.
Huh?
Fly eyes.
I don't know what that means.
Because you were asleep.
Oh, Fly Eyes. That's the guy. Right. I know who you're
Yes,
talking about.
God, dude. Oh my God.
Listen, but again, I'm not big on Castlevania. I really not. I watched it one time through, and if I fell asleep, I wasn't engaged with that last one like that.
But you're engaged with the Lion Guard?
I mean, again, you're comparing apples to oranges. Those are not fair comparisons.
Wild.
Listen, there are some
I have a
adults that still
question.
like kid meals.
That's
What's
funny.
better, this or Eternals?
Oh, I would rather watch Castlevania than Eternals.
Eternals, the movie?
No, it's lack of taste.
But again,
Yes.
you're the only person I know that actually stands by Eternals. So
Wait, you think Eternals is great?
please, can I finish?
Yeah,
I keep getting interrupted.
Quit giving hot takes and we won't have to
It
interrupt.
wasn't that hot of a take, but again, I
It's
think
lukewarm.
I think your
Wait.
9 was the hottest take here.
Wait, Miss
From-
Miss
I'm the hottest
Marvel,
one.
Miss Marvel or Castlevania?
Again, you're comparing apples to oranges.
Fine, okay,
They're
fine,
not
fine.
they're
the
both
same.
fruits. Both of
Bridgerton
them
or
are fruits.
Castlevania?
Both of them are
Bridgerton or
both of them are
Castlevania?
series.
Do not do that.
But
for
again,
Castlevania.
you're comparing apples to oranges. I haven't rewatched Castlevania. I haven't rewatched Bridgerton. I haven't rewatched Miss Marvel. You're not asking deep questions. These are not deep questions.
They're not.
Castlevania
It's
or
just like
Demon
give
Slayer.
an
That's
answer.
a good one.
I don't have an answer because I haven't rewatched any of those shows, and I haven't rewatched this show. So as far as I'm concerned, these are one and done deals. These are probably all in the same little umbrella. Shows I do not care to rewatch.
And yeah, he will.
I haven't.
Wow.
I haven't.
Castlevania versus Demon Slayer. That's the good one.
No, that's
Yes,
not, because it's gonna
yes.
be Demon Slayer every
No, it
time.
won't.
Wow.
Yes, it will.
Wow, that's
Yes, it
that's
will.
problematic.
Because
Again,
again,
you know how y'all hate on that? I hate.
and again, I'll never be able to finish.
Quit giving hot
Keep
takes.
talking. And y'all keep bringing up dumb shit. Miss Marvel should not be in this conversation.
I want somebody to go onto Microsoft Word and do a word count until Ethan gets to the fucking point.
Oh, I'm trying, and you keep talking.
You're making this hardy.
But I'm glad you brought up Demon Slayer, because other than the action sequences, the animation of Powerhouse Animation, this studio, is lackluster at times. It's not necessarily fun to watch. Artistically, it looks great, but the way they move, some of their facial features and whatnot, it's not good. It's not good, and I will clock it every time. And that is a attribute of this animation studios. They also did Blood of Zeus. I noticed. I'm ignoring. I'm trying to. It has nothing to do with me.
It has everything to do with you.
It really doesn't.
Why? Do you like Eternals?
I don't. Toasty loves Eternals.
What score did you give Eternals?
Are a fan? I don't know, because I don't care. I don't care.
But you care about Quantumania. All right.
Right, because again, all these things are so comparable, right?
Bitch, I bet you the listeners are listening to this shit right now, and they're like, these
can you get to the point, Grandmaster?
You know, I'm gonna go back and count how many times y'all have
seasons are gonna
interrupted.
change.
Another one.
There's
another one.
Gonna get to the point.
There's
Come
another
on,
one.
Go.
Right.
All right, finish it then.
I'm trying. Let's play a game. Let's see who interrupts next.
All right, Dr. Jace, interrupt and close it out.
Say something
right there. This series though does a good job at being the next generation of Castlevania. You know, y'all were saying, is it season 7? Is it
Jesus
the next
Christ, season
no,
5?
It's very much just the next generation. Star Trek meets Star Trek, the next generation. That's very much what this is. Alucard being a perfect bridge between the two series. I like that. But we'll see what season 2 can do.
Okay.
Very eloquent. Very eloquent.
Love that for you.
One thing I do have to say is that I do hope that this series gets Konami to create more games and add more to the lore, because we are reaching the end of the timeline in terms of like the game. So I hope that they have something planned, or I mean, that's a show I would like to see continuing for, you know,
Castlevania
a couple more
2000s.
I mean, they get to 2036 or something, I believe.
They do?
In one of the reboots that they did, there's one where it's like one of the Belmonts actually becomes Dracula, and he's in like,
and it's in the future.
That's Lord of Shadow, right?
It's Lords of Shadow, yeah, and it's like
watch all these
it's in modern
TikTokers become
times.
vampires in 2036, and they're gonna be like doing some shit like that.
Wow.
Sure.
Yep. They'll be like, TikTok.
Sure.
Is that your teeth sinking in?
Yes.
Sink it in. But I think we covered about everything with Castlevania Nocturne. We gave you guys the good, the bad, the ugly. Let you know everything there is to know. Jesus, stop it. But go see Castlevania Nocturne for yourself. Or I imagine if you have listened this far into the pod, you've already seen the show and you just want to hear some differing thoughts. I think we're all over the place with our thoughts on Castlevania Nocturne, and that's okay. That's good. That's good. Differing opinions. But yeah, let us know what you guys think about Nocturne down in the comments below. Wherever you're listening to us on, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at the Yonko table. It looks like Grandmaster's doing an incantation, and I don't know what he's trying to do.
Castle C.
A.
Oh, I thought that was his score of a 7.
Wow, I thought so too. How do we want to close this? What? Random quote, random song.
I am Victor Belmont, and I am of the Belmont clan, and I kill vampires.
For someone who gave it a 7, he loves to quote her. That's why you know he's fake. Continue.